Hello everyone, in this video we will learn about what is Kubernetes and why we use Kubernetes. So let's get started with the video. So what is Kubernetes? Actually, with the widespread adoption of containers among organization, Kubernetes, the container-centric management software, has become the de facto standard to deploy and operate containerized applications. So the Google Cloud is the birthplace of Kubernetes, originally developed at Google and released as open source in 2014. So the Kubernetes built on 15 years of running Google's containerized workloads and the valuable contributions from the open source community. So the inspired by Google's internal cluster management system work and Kubernetes makes everything associated with deploying and managing your application easier. So it provides automated container orchestration. Kubernetes improves your reliability and reduce the time and resources attributed to daily operations. So the Kubernetes defines a set of building blocks that collectively provide mechanism that actually deploy, maintain and scale application based on CPU. So Kubernetes is actually a loosely coupled and extensible to meet different workloads. The internal components as well as extensions and containers they run on Kubernetes, rely on Kubernetes API. The platform exerts into control our compute and storage resources by defining resources as objects which can that be managed as such. Now the Kubernetes follows the primary replica architecture, and the component of Kubernetes can be divided into those that manage an individual node and those that are part of control plane. So this is in Kubernetes. This is overview of Kubernetes, and this is official documentation. You can just search on Kubernetes and you will be provided documentation on official, and from here you will learn everything about Kubernetes. So now the Kubernetes defined, and the Kubernetes sometimes shortened to Kubernetes with the 8 standing for the number of letters between the K and the S, and is an open source system, as I said, to deploy, scale and manage containerized application anywhere. So this is it. What are the benefits of Kubernetes? So the first one is automated operations and infrastructure abstraction and service health monitoring. So what is automated operations? Kubernetes that build in commands to handle a lot of heavy lifting that goes into application management, allowing you to automate day-to-day operations. You can make sure applications are always running the way you intended them to run. And infrastructure abstraction is why you install Kubernetes. It handles the compute, networking and storage on behalf of your workloads. This allows developers to focus on applications and not worry about the underlying environment. Now the service health monitoring. Kubernetes continuously run health checks against your service, restarting containers that fail or have stall and only make available service to users which it has confirmed they are running. So this is the main 3 benefits of Kubernetes. Now there is a difference between Kubernetes and Docker. So I'm not going to explain this in this video. Now what is Kubernetes used for? Why we use this? Kubernetes is used to create applications that are easy to manage and deploy anywhere when available as a managed service, and Kubernetes offer you a range of solutions to meet your needs. However, here are some common use cases: increasing deployment velocity and deploying applications anywhere and running efficient services. So the first one is Kubernetes help you to build cloud native microservice based app. It also support containerized of existing apps, thereby becoming the foundation of application monitoring of letting you develop apps faster. So with the help of this, your apps will be faster running. And deploying application anywhere. Kubernetes is built to be used anywhere, allowing you to run and your application across on-site deployments and public clouds, as well as hybrid deployment in between. You can run your application where you need them. So this is a deployment application anywhere, and where we use Kubernetes and running efficient services. So you can also use Kubernetes here. Kubernetes can automatically adjust the size of a cluster required to run a service. This enables you to automatically scale your applications up and down, basically based on a demand, and run them efficiently. So this is a use of Kubernetes. And so why we use Kubernetes? We use Kubernetes because Kubernetes schedules and automates containers deployment across multiple compute nodes, whether on the public cloud, on-site virtual machines, or physical on-premises machines. So the Kubernetes provide you with service discovery and load balancing. Kubernetes can expose a container using the DNS name or using their own IP address. So it also allow you to drive maximum utility from containers and build cloud native applications that can run anywhere, independent to cloud specific requirements. So we use Kubernetes as an infrastructure framework for infrastructure framework. These days, developers are called on the right application that run across multiple operating environment, including dedicated on-prem servers, virtualized private cloud, and public cloud such as AWS and Azure. So we also use Kubernetes for better management through modulatory and container allow application to be decomposed into smaller parts with the clear separation of concern. The abstraction layer provide for individual containers image allow us to fundamentally rethink so how distributed applications are built. This modern approach enable faster deployment by smaller, more focused team that are each responsible for specific containers. It also allow us to isolate dependencies and make wider use of well-turned smaller component. So yeah, we also use Kubernetes for deploying and updating software at scale. So DevOps emerged as a method to speed the process of building, testing, and releasing software. It currently has been a shift in emphasis for managing infrastructure to managing how software is deployed and update at scale. Most infrastructure framework does not support this model, but Kubernetes does, in part through Kubernetes controllers. Thanks to controllers, it's easy to use infrastructure to manage application lifecycle. The deployment controller specifies a number of complex management tasks, that is scalability, visibility, and time saving, version control. So yeah, so among other possibilities, Kubernetes simplify a few specific deployment operations that are especially valuable to deployers of modern applications, that is horizontal auto scaling, rolling updates, canary deployments, and yeah. So that's all about why we use Kubernetes and what is Kubernetes. And I have explained everything as I know, and hope you like this video and it will be helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching.